Hey there, YouTubers. It's Stampede Survival here with another video. Today I'm going to be shooting a video on my EDC, or my everyday carry. This is a bag, which is actually an eSport utility bag, almost like a waist pack. This is something that I keep in a vehicle kit, which I will go over the contents of that on another video. And basically that's just a milk crate full of various survival items. But this is just one component of that, and it's my EDC. So I will go ahead and take the contents out, and then I'll start the video back up, and I'll go over what I have inside. Alright, just give me a second. Okay, I'm back, and here is the contents of my EDC. It's not a very large everyday carry, only because, like I said earlier, this is just one component of a vehicle kit which I carry around with me everywhere in the back of my car. So if you're wondering why certain items are not in here, it's probably in my vehicle kit. But I'll go ahead and just go over the items that I do have in here. And I'm going to start off with an emergency survival blanket. Yeah, everybody has these. These things work great. They're not the most comfortable things in the world, but you know, they do reflect 90% of your body heat back to you. Hope you don't have too much of a glare on that. So if you're in a dire situation, these things will help keep you warm. And also, you can use it for signaling, or just as for shelter building. You can use it to help waterproof a shelter. So these things are nice to have. Another thing I have in here is a hooded poncho, and these things are great. This is an inexpensive one. There are more expensive ones that are thicker and have grommets in them to help tie down for shelter building. But these things will definitely do the job in an emergency situation. It's not going to last a real long time, but if you need a quickie thing to slip on just to keep yourself dry, these things are excellent. And also, you can use it for shelter building as well, help waterproof your shelter. So those things are really great to have. You can also use them for catching water. So they have multiple uses. Some other things that I have in here, I'll start off with these. Some Hawaiian Punch drink mixes. These things are just nice to have, just for a little boost of flavor. If they say you're boiling water out of a stream or a lake, sometimes it doesn't really taste real good. So you can boil it up, pour one of these things in there, and it'll taste a lot better for you. So those things are nice to have. Another thing I have in here is some petroleum jelly, and you can use this as intended purpose, as a lip balm. But you can also use it for assisting in fire starting. If you run out of tinder, you can rip off a piece of your t-shirt, a piece of your socks, whatever, squirt a little bit of this on there, it'll light right up and it'll act as a candle, and really help get your fire going. Or you could use it on dry skin, whatever you need it for. This stuff's a good thing to have. As you'll notice, that a lot of the items in here aren't just survival items, but they're also everyday items. Things where you're at work and you need something that you don't have in your pocket, you can run out to your car and grab it. So it's nice to have. Other thing in here is some sunblock. This is a SPF 30 sunscreen, and this stuff works really well. I mostly use it on my ears and nose. But if you're stuck out somewhere and you're stuck out in the sun all day, you get called outside to do something, and you're going to be spending a couple hours outdoors. This is excellent to have. It helps prevent skin cancer, so that's good. And for fire starting, I carry a normal Bic lighter. Everybody has one of these things. Very reliable. I pretty much have one of these everywhere I go. It's the easiest way to get a fire going. And I also carry a waterproof match vial, and this is has the black rubber O-ring on it. I carry about 20 or so strike anywhere matches with a couple of strikers in there. And these things are excellent. It guarantees that your matches will stay dry in case you get caught in the rain. There's also a small flint on the bottom, so you can, if you do run out of matches, you can get a fire going with the flint. And then for tinder, my old standby, I have this in pretty much every kit that I have. And you've heard me talk about it before. This is the Vaseline-soaked cotton balls, and these things are just I can't even express it in words how great these things are. You just fluff it up a little bit, put a spark on it, you light it with a match, lighter, whatever, and one full cotton ball will last a few minutes. It helps you reassures yourself that you're going to be able to get a fire going even in damp conditions. So I'm a big believer in that stuff. And also in my kit I have a backup survival kit, and this is just a last ditch survival kit, and I actually have a video on this. This is something that if I were to be in a survival situation, the first thing I'd do is pull this out of my EDC, slip it in the pants pocket, and then I would know I have a backup. And this has a lot of various general survival items in it, just so I know I have backup from all this stuff here. So if you want to see the contents of that, please check out the video. I also keep a hank of 550 paracord, and this stuff is just great for anything. I mean, there's so many uses for this. Shelter building, you can use it for fishing line, preparing your clothes, wrapping it around a makeshift knife so you have a handle. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this. Just make sure you buy the good stuff with the 7 inner strands. I believe each inner strand is capable of holding like 37 pounds, and then the outer sheath itself is, I forget the math, 50, 80 pounds, something of that nature. But anyways, it's 550 pound test, all assembled, so it works wonders. But that stuff's really good. And then here I have another tin, just with a rubber band holding it together and just some paper in case you need to write some notes or something. And inside here, this is my first aid kit. And I've got Advil, Benadryl, Sudafed, some Pepto, Tums, Band-Aids, wipes, all sorts of things in here. And like I said, this is a everyday carry, so you may not need it in a survival situation right away, but if you're at work and you get a headache, stomach ache, whatever, this is nice to have. And it's really easy to get to, and it stays together well in this tin. So I use that quite a bit, and as I use things out of it, I just replenish it. And also in a survival situation, the little things really add up to make your time more miserable. So if you're stuck somewhere and suddenly you get a headache, it just makes it that much tougher to survive out there. So I try to keep that pretty well stocked. Also, I carry around a little pocket mirror. I can use this for signaling. And that's the main purpose for it. Or if you get something in your eye, it's nice to have something where you can assist yourself with getting that out. And also, I'm going to come around to the other side here. I'm going to start with this light here. This is a Dorsey 1-watt flashlight, and this takes the Surefire battery in it. And this thing is just great. This is one of the first, I guess I'd call it a high-powered LED flashlight that I bought. I bought this many years ago. And I am a huge fan of Dorsey flashlights. I've got a lot of their products, and I know there's more expensive brands out there, but I think dollar for dollar, you get the most bang for the buck with a Dorsey flashlight. Like I said, I've had this for years. I've gone through lots of batteries in it because I use it all the time. And I might even actually do a review on this and some of the other flashlights I carry. And don't get me wrong, I don't only buy Dorsey flashlights. I buy lots of other ones as well, but I just think of all my flashlights, some of my Dorseys are my favorites. So I keep that in there for just finding my way at night. So, and I also carry a backup. This is just an inexpensive Rayovac pen light, and this isn't the brightest thing in the world, but it's nice to have a backup. And if I get to a situation, I can just pull this one out, slide it in my pocket, keep it separate from my other one. That way I know I have a backup. And I also just carry a pen. Just write down problems, directions, phone numbers, whatever you need it for. It's nice to have. Another thing I just picked up recently is this 4-in-1 survival tool, and this is an Ozark trail, and it basically has a compass. It's a whistle. It's got a really nice thermometer on the back, which is works actually pretty well. And then also on the inside, there is, if I can get it out of here, a magnifying glass, and you can use that for fire starting, or if you get a splinter or something, it's nice to know you have that. This thing works really well, and I actually keep it clipped on the outside of my survival bag there, my EDC, so it's easy to grab. Another thing I keep on the outside is the bottle of hand sanitizer, and I use this a lot. If you stop for lunch, it's nice to be able to clean your hands off before you eat. You can use this to assist in fire starting, but it works nice. And I keep it clipped on this little bottle holder, which you can also use to carry bottles of water around. You know, if you're at a park taking a hike, you don't want to carry your water bottle. This clips onto a belt loop with a carabiner, and then you can slide a bottle of water through the adjustable strap here, cinch it down tight, and you can carry your bottle of water like that as well. So, but anyways, I keep this clipped on the outside of my bag, so it's easy to get to. Also, I carry a small sewing kit, and this is just a little spool of thread, a couple of needles, a couple buttons, and a small pair of scissors. And you know, you can use this for repairing equipment. You can use, you know, if you get a tear in your shirt at work or whatever, this is nice to have. And I usually have a couple of safety pins. I must have taken those out, but I'll go ahead and I'll make sure I get them replenished after I make this video. That's definitely nice to have. Also, I carry a little bundle of zip ties, and there's 101 uses for these things, and usually you don't miss them until you need one. So, you know, I've used them to hold things together. You could use it for, you know, assist in shelter building. So there's a lot of uses for these, so I keep those in there. Also carry a pair of nail clippers. You know, you can use it for the intended purpose, or you can use it to cut line. These are real handy to have, little snippers, so that's nice. I also carry a small fishing kit. I used to carry this in a plastic tube, one of the larger ones that I have. I know in some of my other videos I've shown you guys the tubes that I carry around, but I decided to put it in a plastic bag, see how it works this way. It seems to take up a little less space. But yeah, I've got various crappie jigs in here, small float, and then I also got some various split shot and hooks. And then I took an old plastic or business card, cut it up, and I wound my fishing line around it. And I probably have about, I don't know, 40 yards maybe, 30-40 yards of, I believe this one's 10-pound test. And so I keep that in my bag just to make sure I can catch food if I need to, if I were to get stranded somewhere. And then last in my pack is a Stanley multi-tool. This is something my wife picked up for me for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I love this thing. I know there's more expensive ones out there. You have your Gerbers and your Leathermans, but for the money, I think she paid, I can't remember how much she paid for it, but I think she got it at Target. And stainless steel. It has a lot of tools in it. It has a needle nose, has a standard pliers, it has wire cutters right here in the middle. It's got a nice saw blade, which actually works very well. I've cut some branches with this. I haven't used it in a survival situation, but just playing around the house, you know, I've cut some branches, and it works really well. But I have that. It has a really nice file, which comes in handy. And also, you know, your standard knife blade, screwdriver bits, can opener. I mean, it's really handy, and it's very heavy duty. It's got some weight to it. So I would have no problems relying on this in a survival situation. I really like this a lot. I really recommend it. But that's the contents of my kit. I can show my bag here. Like I said, this is an eSport utility bag. It's just a waist pack or fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. It has a few pouches. It's very low profile, so when you're wearing it, it's not one of those big bulky bags that's going to be protruding out the side of your hip. So, well, that's the contents of my EDC. Like I said, there's some everyday items in here as well as some general survival items. I know there's some things in here people are going to be saying, oh, why don't you have this, why don't you have that? But I will make another video soon on my vehicle kit, which contains the rest of my survival items that I carry with me in my car everywhere I go. So anyway, I hope you liked the video, and I really appreciate the support. I'm starting to get some more viewers, and you know, I really like that. If you have anything you want to comment on, please feel free to leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And this is a lot of fun making these, and I really appreciate you guys watching. So anyway, you guys take care, and God bless everyone.